So we'll start off with this bit of water here in the back, like this. And down at the front of the water, this is where you get all the sand, so we don't need to really do anything there, just have to put in kind of where the water ends. There's a bit of this beach, sort of wet sand here at the back, I'll just indicate there. Just a quick sketch. Let's put in a bit of this beach, this house here. Okay, a bit of the rooftop, tower here, and it's just like a rectangular shape, like this. So you can see, holding that pencil right down the back, and there. Ooh, hang on a moment. There's a triangular shape up the top, so just indicate that bit of that, the top part of it like that. Come down here. Okay, so with that triangular part, you can see a couple of windows here. Just put in that window. There's actually a clock or something around that section, and you can see the top part of the roof is flat. So we'll just carry that across like this, here, and down the back like that. This side of the roof is actually a little bit higher. Oh, hang on one moment. It actually comes down like this, cuts in front of it. Okay, just erase that part. There's a part of the rooftop there. This part is actually a little bit lower, like here. We can make that lower. Okay, in front we have, there's all kinds of details here, but I'm just going to put in a little window here, and there's actually some kind of kiosk or shop in front that covers it, and it goes out of the scene, disappears off, kind of like that. Just a box. Okay. All right. Some windows here, just indicate that window. Another thing you can do here, that you can see all kinds of these little fences and what have you. I'm going to put in a bit of this, land here, where it comes in, kind of like where the building is sitting on. And you can actually see a person walking around the back like that. Just put in a quick little indication of that person. And what we'll do is also put in some of these trees, like this. And you can see actually some of the trees are going behind the building. And I like this because these bits of trees, they are going to help to bring out this building. Okay, notice I've actually cut out a lot of the details of the building. Okay, it actually comes down a bit further here. It comes all the way down like that. Alright, and the light is starting to disappear a bit, so I'm just going to quickly indicate the darkness underneath the building like that. Okay, light's coming from the right hand side, so you're going to get a bit of darkness on that left side like that. Okay, there's actually a chimney here as well, a tiny little chimney sticking out the rooftop, and it's three-dimensionality of it as well. Just get in that side of it, and then just a tiny little bit of shade on the left hand side. Okay, things like that really help. And also these trees, I haven't done them too well, but just a quick thing like that. And actually off in the distance here you can see this kind of rocky man-made wall or whatever down there, so we can put in a bit of that like this. Yeah, just sketch that in there. Okay, what I like as well is that we now have all this area out the front that we can play around with, and obviously we've got this person out the back here, but I thought, why not just put in maybe a person here. Okay, there are some people walking around the beach, but this is one maybe a bit closer to us, and we can just have a few people that are maybe walking off in the distance. Let's just put in a few indications of the bodies, and these actually the people that I saw right in the back a little while ago. Okay, just get the little silhouettes of their heads and their bodies, and this could be a smaller child or smaller person, I guess. Okay, off in the distance. And now I'm kind of thinking this one here is probably a little bit too large. Reduce the size of this one down. You have to make everything in proportion, and the heads as well around the same height, because this is a flat bit of land. Okay, there we go, that looks a bit better. This person here is also probably going to need to be removed and just reduced a little bit in size. We just removed that, altogether actually. The legs, I don't have to worry too much, just a little indication like that. The shadows, of course, just running maybe towards the back like that. So we've got a little quick indication underneath the rooftops as well. I like to darken, just indicate these kind of shadows. Okay, there, a little bit of darkness there, here, bringing out that top of the building like that. You can also see really quite far in the distance the water. Funny enough, it actually ends above this bit of rock like there. Not only that, you can see little boats and things like, you don't have to put them in, but if you have a larger bit of paper, you can also sketch that in. There's even people just sitting around there, that kind of thing. But for a quick little sketch, this is going to be alright. Just having a look to see if maybe we can put in some seagulls or whatever. That's too big. Let's see. Maybe just a bit of seaweed and something like that. Kind of come out of this little triangular-like shape. That's all we need to do. Just put in this little triangular-like shape for the body and a little indication for the head, legs, and they kind of look a bit like birds. The birds, when they face towards you, are circular, and the legs just come down a bit forwards, so sort of circular. Okay, so you can see the body and the heads facing. And this just give it a bit of interest. Okay, let's get painting. So I'm starting off with a bit of yellow ochre, really light, about 10% paint and 90% water, and just getting in the roof. And not only that, I'm also going to get in the right hand side of this building here. Okay, it's kind of tricky because I don't have a proper towel or rag or anything to control the water, but you can still make sure you pick up enough, the right amount of water, and just dilute it down and make do. Okay, I've chosen to make this side a little bit more vibrant as well. Okay, there's a touch of this more yellowy color, quinacridone yellow on the right hand side, whereas the left hand side is more kind of just more yellow ochre. Okay, lots of water, and you really want to keep that light, especially on the right hand side of this building, on the top. Just drag that through because that's where the light's hitting mainly. And I've got a bit of Naples yellow as well. Why not just drop in a bit of that Naples yellow in here? Look at how I just get everything to mix together. Okay, it's no big deal. Okay, bring that down. This little bead of water here is so important because this allows you to just carry this wash further down the page. Okay, now a lot of this building is just, it's just really quite yellowish in color anyway, so there's not much to detail or whatever to put in there. But this Naples yellow, which is basically a dulled down kind of creamy yellow, opaque-ish creamy yellow, drop some of that in here. Okay, and while I'm at it, let's put in a little bit of the yellow for the the sand, which is like a Naples yellow, and we'll go through, just color over that like that. Okay, it's just still a lot of water, mostly just water through this mix. Carrying this through. Probably should swap to a smaller brush, larger brush, doesn't matter. Okay, really light wash, especially for the foreground. And when you have a larger mop brush like this, it does wonders, really. It really does wonders. Okay, carry that through like that. All right. What I'm going to do as well, I'm just going to flick in a bit of paint through here, just to get in some inconsistencies. I don't even know what color this is. I mean, I've just got some leftover paint or whatever previously on the palette, so flicking a bit of that creates a little bit more interest. And a touch of the blue, we'll pick up some cerulean blue. Where is it? Over here, a bit of cerulean, like this. Pick that up off the palette, and we're going to put in the water here. Touch of the water. Oops, I'm just getting some more of that colour. Bit of that cerulean blue for the water. Oops, some of it's going into the sand. We'll just have to make do. Okay, like that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Some of that water coming into the sand as well there. All right, there we are. And of course the sky, which is also a cerulean. So let's just cut around. I mean, some of these trees and stuff here will leave them white, but really nice and light cerulean for the sky. Okay, just pick that up. And the top of that building should have pretty much dried already, so I can just go a little bit darker around the edges. Okay, cutting around the yellows. Right, and I'm purposely just going darker around the rooftop as well. See, a little bit darker, and the reason for that is that it helps it to stand out better. Makes it look a bit more darker against the sky. I mean, there are some little clouds here, so I can just drop in a touch of this like this. Okay, a bit more here, here, here. Just some indications of clouds, and this is really just picking up some leftover paint on the palette. I'm also being mindful not to overdo it. That one's a little too dark, so I'll just try to shift it around a little bit. Okay, there. The top part is turning out quite nice, but I'll just add in a little bit more paint. And this is something that I've altered in this particular scene, just to, I don't know, just to bring out the building a little bit better. Okay, now this is all really starting to dry, and what I want to do now, well, we want to pick up a smaller brush. Now we want to add in the little details, shadows, figures, that kind of thing. In these type of sketches, you don't have a whole lot of time to work, and it's not a matter of trying to get in all the details of everything. It's really just to get an impression of what's going on out here. So over on the side, I'm picking up a bit of neutral tint. It's just a dark color. I've also just got grays and stuff just on the palette, so I can pick up some of this color. And let's go ahead. Maybe put in a bit of red and a bit of yellow in here. I just want to make a light grayish sort of color. And I know there's, we want to put in a bit of shadow or something on this side of the building. Yeah. And sort of join that up. That a lot of the light has already disappeared from the scene, but I can still remember roughly where it was, and I can create a sense of darkness just underneath the building here. Okay, we don't have to color it all in, but just enough underneath. Okay, join it up. What have we got here? Same here. You've got a little bit of darkness underneath the building like that. Yeah, this building here is interesting because it does have some light on the right hand side of it too. I will create this kind of exaggerated shadow pattern there. Bottom of the buildings, often you'll get a little bit of darkness at the bottom of them as well, to just mark out the base or whatever. And this can also serve as maybe a shadow for this building running to the left hand side, just something like that. You know, this can be something as well, another shadow or whatever. Okay, that, notice how I'm just joining it all up, all these shadows. Okay, a little bit more darkness where I start feeling more confident about them, about the shadows. A little bit more underneath here, the rooftops or whatever, like that. Good. I mean, most of this stuff anyway. Okay, let's have a look a little bit further down here. I'm gonna pick up some green. I'll mix some together, a bit of blue and a bit of yellow. Okay, just a dull down green, and let's put in these trees or whatever down in the back. Just a quick indication of them. Okay, they're a touch darker. Okay, just something like that. They'll blend into the background nicely. And another one here. Oh, it takes just a little quick droplet in there, and mix it up as well. See, look, I'm putting in a bit more yellow, and a bit of the yellow is going to create a slightly lighter tree or different color. Okay, running through there. Good. Now, what I'll do is just pick up some more of this purplish color that I have left over. It's really just purple, gray, whatever's left on the palette. Okay, and one thing I can certainly see is just these little, I don't know what they are, but like little bits of the fence or whatever just coming through there, just indicate something like that. Not only that, you know, these rocks here, I do think we're going to go darker, so we'll just simplify down like that. Let's just get in these rocks off in the distance like this. It's kind of a bit too dark actually. Let me just see if I can lighten this off a bit with some water. Carry that all across. Okay, like that. There. That. Here. Okay, just a bit of that land there in the back. Sometimes over in the foreground as well, you might get a touch of these bits of seaweed and things like that you can also just sort of indicate over here. So let's put in some little shadows. Last thing what we want to do, these areas have started to dry off. I just want to add in little bits of indications for the figures. So here's like the heads of the figures, but we'll also work a little bit on the windows as well. Okay, like that. Just get the legs in of this person that I was painting before. Okay, here's a leg, here's another leg. With these beach scenes, you don't need too much, you just need a quick little indication like that. Okay. Okay. Then just a bit of shadow running behind. Let's see if we can just a bit of shadow like that. There we are. Some of the little shadows or something of the birds here on the ground. Touch of detail for the buildings. A bit of light there, darkness there. A little bit underneath the buildings like that, the rooftops. Okay. Lots of drama going on here. the beach. We're just picking out small details. One thing I figured as well, there's a little bit of this thing on top of the building. This little tower here. There. Screaming children, always good times. Okay, bit of that shadow there. I mean, apart from that, I think this is a nice little sketch that we can certainly use for a more refined kind of painting afterwards. Certainly to just capture that impression of what's going on. Okay. A bit of this rooftop. You sort of, as you go by, you sort of pick up little additional details. You know, this is something else you could potentially do. I'm just looking at the direction of these little bits of detail on the roof, seeing if I can potentially just indicate some of this stuff. Just skip over the paper a bit. That. Okay. Stuff on the right hand side doesn't matter all too much. Great, and we are finished.